Hello everyone. Today we have a little tiny thing that I'm gonna go ahead and share with you that we're taking care of out in the garden. It has to do with Oakleaf Hydrangeas, and I thought that I'd go ahead and share because I had I thought it was a very funny comment, something I saw. I'm holding off to the blooms of the Oakleaf Hydrangea so much because that is just something that I love so much when we grow these beautiful hydrangeas, how big the blooms are, and I love what they do for winter too, what they give off around that time. So one of the comments was that if that was a beehive, and they're talking about this right here. So we had in one of our past videos, we had this guy, I guess, was on the background of the video, and yeah, I'm over here thinking I'm being pretty cool holding on to these blooms, which I do love, but I was like, okay, ouch. I think it's time to remove these dead blooms, which it is time. And yeah, I thought it was just very funny, the comment. And I was like, yeah, I think it is time. It does look like a beehive. So let's go ahead and take it off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these. And by the way, I'm over here showing off some nice pruners that our friends from Dram Gardening sent our way a while back. So I'm always happy to be able to to show you new gardening tools. But I finally did it. I removed it. All the other flowers have already flown off, with the wind during winter. But it's something that I really love, and I actually took some off to take indoors to decorate during the winter months. So let me take you to the other one. This one is Gatsby Moon. And then we have on this side what is called Gatspeed Pink, which has a very different shape of bloom. It's a lot smaller. And this one actually turns pink once it starts to age. So y'all might be asking and wondering, why are you taking this off? Is it pruning? No. So let me just take that off from right there. And then we'll get talking about that. When you're removing it too, the flowers, the dead flowers, make sure that you're only removing where the flower is at. Do not go beyond that, because that's what we're going to talk about right now. If you do that, now you're pruning the hydrangea. And you do not want to prune Oakleaf hydrangeas at all right now around this time, because they grow on old wood. That means that they're going to put their flowers on the old wood from last year. If you cut those branches off right now, if you prune back those branches, they're not going to give you any flowers this spring. So that is the amazing thing about this hydrangea, the Oakleaf hydrangea. I say that it gives interest all through the year. And I've talked about it before, but I love it so much that I'm going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit more today. So Oakleaf hydrangea, I enjoy it through the whole year. Around this time, it starts to put out their fresh growth and leaves. And as you can see, look at those leaves. They have actual color right now, the fresh ones. And there's a lot of growth in this one right now. So it's getting ready to start flushing out with leaves. And that is something so amazing that I love to see from these hydrangeas in the beginning of spring. In a few weeks, maybe, I don't know, they grow so fast. Maybe 2, I want to say, I'll start to see the big maple, which that's why they call them Oakleaf hydrangeas, like the maple oak hydrangea, the trees, the leaves. You'll see that shape. It is just so, so pretty. And to see those big green leaves in the garden, so fresh and green, I love that about them. I just love the way it looks, especially when, there's nothing really much going on, and at least it starts to fill out the garden with that. So then after that, you start to see in the beginning, after they start to push out their leaves, it's one of the first ones to bloom of hydrangeas in our garden. I love that about these hydrangeas, because their blooms start to come out and they start to release a scent, a very pretty fragrance, very soft fragrance. I want to say it's very similar, if anybody grows the arborescens, Annabelle type hydrangeas, they release this very pretty aroma. That's why I grow those two all through the garden. It's another very easy hydrangea. This one does that around that time when the flower is starting to just fill itself out, and it comes out very pretty and white, and then throughout the season, it starts to change to like a green one. And it seems in the beginning, what I love about it, that it reminds me a lot of when you're growing the panicle hydrangeas. That's the shape they take, but they're just a lot more fluffy, a lot bigger. They're just so pretty. And then from that green lime color, they start to change. I've seen them here. We've had the luck to have them change towards fall to a little bit of that rosy pink till they start to, dry out, to like this. And then around fall time, you start to see their huge oak leaf type leaves. You start to see them change into the fall color that is just so gorgeous and pretty, because I see it like a rainbow. It has so many colors. It just puts out so many colors. And that's this one right here, the Gatsby Moon that I'm raving about. The one over here, which is the Gatsby Pink, that one keeps its blooms a little smaller, longer, but they do turn pink towards the end of the season in fall, which is really pretty as well. Another reason why I love them in the garden so much through winter is because once the leaves fall off, you get to see all this pretty cool and amazing branches. So we have both of them in containers. That's how we grow them. If you have an area to put them and grow them the way they are intended to in the ground, I suggest you put them in the ground because they look amazing and grow a lot faster in the ground. We've had these for a few years already. If you have them in containers, any plant, it won't grow to the most it should. So one thing about having them in containers, you're going to kind of see the scraggly kind of look. I love it. I love it because it looks so magical to me in the garden. We have such a small garden that anything like this, it still grows to be something big for us. It gives a lot of winter interest. So you can only imagine, it snows here, seeing it covered with snow, seeing the blooms hanging on them dried, and then we get a lot of cardinals, birds around. So that just looks beautiful, beautiful. While we're looking from the inside of our house out, the view is just gorgeous. I love seeing that. So that's why I enjoy these panicle hydrangeas a lot. Another thing, we have such a small garden that I always say, get plants that are big. For a small garden, it's always nice to have a lot of the plants around that are a very big size, and then you underplant with small plants to fill in the garden. But big plants they're actually amazing in the garden. They make the garden seem a little bigger than what the garden really is, the small space. So that's another reason why I love to have these hydrangeas. Then later on, with time, if you need to pot the hydrangea, then you go ahead and put it in a bigger pot, or you can just go ahead and plant it in the ground, which there's where I'm getting to with this. We're hoping that pretty soon, as we're moving, we could plant these in the ground. So they do really well in southern gardens. So in southern states. So I can't wait to have these two finally growing in the ground. It's something that we've been looking forward to with them. I remember on our travels down the south, we see them planted underneath other big, huge trees, and they always look so beautiful, and they're just magical plants. So I think I'll leave it here. I just wanted to say a quick hello and what we're up to. We have a lot to do right now. We just have rainy weather in Virginia today, and that means that sometimes we have to hold off. We want to share everything that we can with you guys. One of the big projects right now that we need to do is with hydrangeas. We need to remove our big hydrangeas from the front. Very bittersweet moment for us, but we want to show it to you on the camera. The only thing on video, the only thing is when it rains, it's kind of hard to capture that. We don't want, the camera to end up getting ruined or anything with the rain. I think that's all I need to tell you. We'll leave you here, and we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully, we're digging out those hydrangeas. See you later. Bye.